Good morning. Today we are continuing with probability. It is actually our last objective of this unit, which means we will be testing next week. Heads up, but I will make sure that we are all on top of what we are doing. Today we are doing PO45. So I can determine the probability of compound events. Now, some of you have asked me about this with the Khan Academy assignments, that I do have an assignment about compound events. This will help you with that Khan Academy assignment. So a compound event is two or more events occurring. So it's not just one thing. We don't just flip a coin one time. We have multiple events that are happening. It has to be at least two. It can be more. So a compound event requires multiple successful outcomes. Everything must happen exactly. So let's see how we do this. There are 8 red marbles, 5 blue marbles, and 7 white marbles in a bag. The first thing we have to do is we have to figure out how many total outcomes there are. So how many marbles are all together in the bag? Because remember, that's going to be our bottom number for the probability, total outcomes. So if we have 8 plus 5 plus 7, that is a total of 20. So now we're going to use those different numbers to find out our probabilities. What is the probability of choosing a red marble, replacing it, putting it back in the bag, and then choosing a white marble? So first we have to look at what's the probability of choosing a red marble. So there are 8 red marbles, so that's my top. There are 20 total, that is my bottom. Then we have to look, what is the probability of choosing a white marble? Well, we replace the red marble, we put it back in the bag, so we still have 20 marbles in the bag. And now I need to look at how many are white. There are 7 white marbles. So it's 8 over 20 for the red, 7 over 20 for the white. So our first event is 8 over 20. Our second event is 7 over 20. Since this is a compound event, the probability of both events happening is the product of each individual event. Product means we are multiplying. So we're going to multiply across, and we have 8 times 7 is 56. 20 times 20 is 400. So I'm going to take that probability, 56 over 400, and I'm going to find my percentage. So 56 divided by 400, and that gives me, it's a 14% probability. So remember, if you are replacing something, you're going to keep the same total number. But if we move down to this one, we see that it says not replacing it. So what is the probability of choosing a blue marble? Well, we see there are 5 blue out of 20. We're not replacing it, and then we're going to choose a red marble. So we know that there are 8 red marbles, but we didn't replace that blue. So now there's not 20 marbles in the bag. That blue marble is out of the bag, so we only have 19 marbles left in our bag. So we have 5 over 20 times 8 over 19. That gets us 40 over 380. And I really do want you writing the fraction and the percentage. You don't have to simplify the fraction because we are finding our percent, but I do want to see each event, 5 over 20 times 8 over 19, you need to write each event that you are multiplying up. You need to write your final probability fraction, and then you need to write the percentage. 40 divided by 380 gives us 11%. So the difference, there is a difference between replacing it and not replacing it. So replacing it, we had 8 blue marbles. Sorry, we have choosing a blue marble. There are 5 blue marbles. Over 20, replacing it, choosing a red marble. There are 8 red marbles. We're going to multiply that. 5 times 8 is 40. 20 times 20 is 400. I want to see you doing all of this work. This is showing your work. I need you to show that you know what you're doing. So 40 divided by 400 gives us 10%. So your final answer is your percentage. But I need to see what is the probability of each individual event. I need to see what it is when we multiply across. And then I need to see the percentage. So you are going to finish this front side, and I want us to take a peek at that second page because the directions are a little bit different. On this first page, we have that bag of 20 marbles that we are working with. Some we are replacing, so we keep that total of 20. Some we do not replace, so we get less total outcomes. On the second page, it says, answer each question about flipping a coin and rolling a 6-sided dice. So flipping a coin, we know that there are 2 outcomes. It could be heads or tails. Rolling a 6-sided dice, there are 6 sides, so there are 6 outcomes. So that gives us a total of 8 outcomes. So our first question says, what is the probability of flipping 3 consecutive heads? We are just flipping coins for this one. Okay, so we don't need to worry about, oh, there's a total of 8, because that's not what we're doing. We're looking at flipping a coin 3 times. So flipping that first coin would be 1 over 2. Because you would get 1 heads out of 2. Our second time, you would get 1 over 2. And our third time, because we're doing 3 events, we're flipping that coin 3 times. We need to multiply going across. 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. So if we have more than 2 events, we still multiply going across. So 1 times 1 times 1, 2 times 2 times 2. We get 1 over 8. We divide. 1 divided by 8 gives us our 13%. Let's see. The next one is very similar. We have one event flipping a tails, second event flipping a tails, third event flipping a heads. So we have 3 events just flipping that coin, and we know there's a total of 2 outcomes when we flip a coin. So now let's look at our next one. What is the probability of rolling an even number, then a 1, then a number greater than 4? So it's still just that 6-sided die with numbers 1 to 6. So rolling an even number, that could be a 2, a 4, or a 6. So there are 3 successful outcomes with that. We know there is a total of 6 outcomes. Our second one is rolling just a 1. Well, there's only 1 on our dice out of 6. And then our last one is a number greater than 4. Well, that would be 5 or 6. So that's 2 successful outcomes out of the 6 sides. and we're going to multiply across. So if there are 3 events, so an even number, a 1 greater than 4, that's 3 events, I should see 3 probabilities that I'm going to multiply across for. So 3 times 1 is 3, times 2 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36, times 6 gives me 216. So the probability of rolling an even number and then rolling a 1 and then rolling a number greater than 4 is 6 out of 216. And I find that percentage 6 divided by 216, and I get a 3%. So you need to always look how many events are happening, find each of those individual outcomes, the successful outcomes, find that probability, then multiply all of those events across. Do your best. Try solving each of these. You can go up and check the manual, see how you're doing. Are you on the right path? Ask a friend if you're not understanding. Do not copy from a friend, but we can help, not tell. We can help our friends, and we will be answering questions for this tomorrow. I do think, let me double check. We are reviewing our unit tomorrow, so we are correcting this page tomorrow. So finish up that front side, the front side where we're working on the marbles, pulling the marbles out of the bag. Finish the front side, finish this back side, do your best. We are correcting tomorrow, so we can do a quick review of this unit, and there are a couple of retakes that people want to do for tomorrow. So tomorrow we have a lot we want to accomplish. So make sure that you are working hard on this this objective, and we will go over it tomorrow. Again, if you have questions, you can check with the manual up front. You can ask a friend to give you help, not tell you how to do it, but help you understand how to solve it, because we will be testing on this at the end of next week. I hope you are well. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.